There's a Japanese legend that says, whether it's a machine, a house, or a relationship, maintenance is always cheaper than repairing. What you don't maintain, you eventually lose. When Mabel read that, she clutched her lower back, wiggled her knees, and said, "Well, butter my biscuit." That quote just dragged me across the carpet of truth. She wasn't about to lose her body to time, not without a fight, and maybe a little magnesium. Mabel's wake-up call. Mabel didn't wake up one day and say, "Let's do squats for fun." She woke up, heard her knees pop like microwave popcorn, and realized her joints were sending a "we need maintenance" notice. So she made a plan. Not for vanity, but for quality of life. She wanted to get off the couch without sound effects, dance at her grandson's wedding without wobbling. Most of all, stay independent. Because aging without maintenance is like owning a fancy car and never changing the oil. Mabel's movement plan. Mabel started small, 10 minutes a day, marching in place while watching her soaps, stretching to reach the cookies on the top shelf, squatting to pick up her cat. Okay, maybe the cat ran away, but the squats stayed. She did wall push-ups, toe raises, chair squats, and her favorite, dancing in the kitchen like nobody was watching, even though her neighbor Carl definitely was. Muscle and bone TLC? Mabel learned a big word, sarcopenia, the fancy term for muscle loss. She said, "If my muscles are going on vacation, they better take me with them." So she added strength exercises twice a week, light weights, resistance bands, or water bottles from the pantry. But she didn't stop there. She said, "My muscles and bones are like old friends. If I don't check in on them, they'll stop showing up." So she gave her bones a boost, a little calcium, some vitamin D, and just for good measure, sat in the sun on the porch with sun hat and sunglasses. Magnesium to keep things moving, and collagen for joint health. Always check with your doctor. But Mabel says these tiny helpers make a big difference. Joint joy. Mabel's knees were more dramatic than a soap opera, but instead of ignoring them, she treated them like VIPs. Low-impact movement like walking, gentle stretches, a warm towel now and then, and her morning turmeric tea. She also added a joint supplement with glucosamine and chondroitin. She called it her daily dose of no creaking. Again, talk to your doc. But Mabel says, if your joints are moaning, they're begging for maintenance. The balance game. Mabel didn't want to end up on the floor like a dropped donut. So she trained her balance like it was a talent show. 1 foot stands while brushing her teeth, heel to toe walking in the hallway, and slow-motion yoga with a YouTube video. And when she finally stood on 1 foot without falling, she yelled, "Someone give me a trophy, or at least a cookie." Rest and fuel. Mabel respected rest. Mabel joked, "I'm so good at sleeping. I can do it with my eyes closed." She slept better after stretching before bed, drinking water, and avoiding late-night cheese binges. She also ate smarter, more green veggies, lean proteins, nuts, berries, and bone broth like her grandma used to make. Food became fuel, not just filler, and it made her feel like $1,000,000, even on a pension. Keep it simple, keep it up. Mabel learned you don't need to run marathons. You need to dress up and show up for yourself every day. 10 minutes of movement, some squats, a little stretch, a walk in the sun, a few supplements, and kindness toward your body. That's maintenance. That's how Mabel keeps her groove. She says, if I don't maintain this temple, it turns into a shack, and baby, I'm still throwing parties in here. If Mabel can do it, you can too. Start small. Move your body, nourish your muscles, support your bones, pamper your joints. Because what you don't maintain, you eventually lose. And Mabel, she's not losing a single step. Subscribe for more sass, more fun and laughter, more tips, and more ways to stay fabulous after 70.